this session we are going to draw projection of object to elevate, and then how they are reflected in shadows in a primary manners. Let's start with basic rectangular. First we are going to draw a rectangle. First, what is the importance of shades? Shade is a projection of object. Sometimes it will elevate the projection of object that will elevate the other communication of the drawings to empower the drawing to current situation, to evolve the surrounding, to readers to observe, and who going to see that drawing to observe something different in a unique manner. Unique is an important role in shadows. First we are going to draw a rectangle. A rectangle is an four options of. First we are going to cut in a shape to elevate some aspects of rectangle, and cut in a right angle in a square box that will show you the shade of a rectangle to show how they are shades in other object. We need to draw a three-dimensional so that the elevation of shades to show the shades are a perfect manner to show you the how they are important role in shades of drawing. I am shades in to show you the important role of shades. And then we started the projection lines. Are we going to create some other objects of cone? Cone is circle shape to elevate shadows to draws, and then create some other objects. Start a line to project the object. Projection of object is an four different angles. Come to a regular is a 3D model, but is a three-phase. But we are showing a three basic styles of unique shadows. First thing of shadow is projection of object of lighting side to opposite. The projection of side is important to roll in a side of angle, the rotate in a different angle to roll in a separate line to cube the acquisition of. We can first project in four different angles in a different path. The side lines will show you the object rolling movement of the projection effect. First, the shadow line we are drawing, then I am going to put a lighting sides. This will show a light, and then object will show the shadow in opposite direction to light. Then the shadow will appear in opposite direction of the light, so that the shadow will reflect the square shape of the object to reflect in a rectangle boxes over the shadow and then reflected in a floor. In a floor straight forward to rectangle, and then also a rectangle will show a shadow to a floor, and then combination of the rectangle and square are combined to shadow the path. So the combination of the shadow will reflect over the square and then floor, and also a cone. Cone also a reflection of light opposite direction to the light to shadow. Shadow will reflected off over the rectangle, and then light have a 4 dimension of reflection, x, y, z and h. We're going to put a h or something else to add another number. In the yellow shades are a lighting amount. This will shade a light amount in a y direction. This y direction is projection the object to reflected in a multiple angle. The basic is 3D, so x, y, z is the opposite direction to light, so that the object will reflected in a y1 angle. There should be a one angle of projection of shadows. Shadow will be a criminatory angle to over the square object and then floor. There are two of the cone will touch a two object to fall over the floor and the square. There are two objects to reflect the shadow of cones. Cone will shadow. The reflection is not projecting the square face. Square not project over the cone because they are beyond the square of cone, so that the cone will reflect the lighting of the object shadow will reflect own shadow of cone, so that the square will reflect the lighting shadow to other object is not possible. So the square only a projection of own shadows. The cone will project the shadow over the square, and square will project the shadow over the square. The rectangle will project the shadow over the square, and then the square project over the shadow in a flow. There will be a conclusion. Square will have own projection and a rectangle box of projection over two objects, floor and square. The cone will have a two projections, square and floor, but square only have one projection over the floor. So if you are drawing in a which kind of light are using in a realistic drawing or some other remote you are draw to project the shadow will reflect only opposite direction of light. That only show you a draw to realistic. When you draw in a shadow in a front beyond the light, it will show you unrealistic of projection. So it will affect your draw. Draw is a main unique function of show a realistic of projection. Projection is improve your drawing to improve the skill of view of drawing. There are all objects have 4 angle except a 3D have a 3 angle because we are going to add some more difficult unique style.